Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Derek. Today is July 13th, 2019, and in this video we're going to focus on a mainstream news story surrounding the governor of Tennessee and how he's in some hot water recently because he signed a proclamation that honored a KKK leader. He's saying that this is simply required legislation that he just put his signature on. He doesn't know anything about the bill. But somehow it's causing some backlash and uproar, and people are accusing this man of being insensitive and perhaps prejudiced. Well, allow me to explain to you in this video about how the only true source of hatred, fear, and division in this country is the mainstream media, which of course includes news outlets like CNN, who will gladly put bullshit news stories like this on their front page with the hopes that its readers will get triggered and upset by such unfairness and injustice and inequality in this country. Before we get too deep into the video, please at least have a basic understanding of this language of Gematria, which is a component of numerology that is hidden from the public. However, once you start paying attention to the numerical values of words and phrases that appear in the media and the dates on which they occur, you will find remarkable alignments virtually every single time. And when it comes to divisive propaganda, such as this news story, of course, the numerology will always be there. And it's the same types of numbers that we see involving racism in all of these stories. We'll talk about this as the video goes on. To begin with, let's talk about today's date. July 13th, or the 13th of July, as it's written in most parts of the world. When you write the date 13/7, this, of course, the birthday of a man named Nathan Bedford Forrest. And this is supposedly why Tennessee is celebrating Nathan Bedford Forrest Day today. It's because it's his birthday. So this date, the 13th of July, like the number 137. Now, 137 is a prime number, and in every single one of my videos, I talk about how significant prime number relationships are. 137 is the 33rd prime number. In the language of Gematria, which combines numbers and letters, K is the 11th letter, so 11 plus 11 plus 11 is 33. The state that this man is the governor of is Tennessee. In the reverse alphabetic order, where Z is assigned 1, Y 2, all the way through A is 26, Tennessee sums to 137, just like today's date. Now, here's something else that's very interesting about the Gematria of KKK. Again, KKK is 11 plus 11 plus 11, giving us 33, which ties into the Gematria of Tennessee. However, if you multiply 11 times 11 times 11, you get a product of 1,331. If you measure from Nathan Bedford Forrest's day of birth to the date of this news story, he was exactly 10,331 weeks old. Again, 11 times 11 times 11 equals 1331. This tying into this man's age on this date. The number 33 is connected to the number 213 through the calendar, loosely. 30 weeks and 3 days is 213 days. In a cipher called Jewish Gematria, which is based on the ancient Latin alphabetic order, you'll see the more modern English characters are placed at the end of this cipher. And in every video, I talk about how this is the most significant form of Gematria outside of the alphabetic order, where notice how the word racism equals 213. This is the ordinal value of the name Nathan Bedford Forrest. 213 using the standard alphabetic order. But here's where this shit gets really obvious. The man who's in trouble is Bill Lee, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, right? Well, let's take a look at his numerology. Notice how he was born in the year 59. Today, July 13th, 2019, 7 plus 13 plus 20 plus 19 gives you a sum of 59. Look at Nathan Bedford's birth numerology, 7 plus 13 plus 18 plus 21. This also sums to 59. This is a number stamped into stories involving race. The word slave equals 59. The word Negro, 59. The word blues, 59 as well. How about that? Now look at how old Bill Lee is. Born October 9th, 1959. That means on today's date, he's 59 years and 277 days old. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, when spelled correctly, equals 277. 277 is the 59th prime number. See how this works? The number 59 in the date, both today and Nathan Bedford's birthday, and this man, 59 years and the 59th prime number of days old. Also, if you measure from the date that he took office, which is the other date that we always look at, January 19th of 2019. Oh, brother. I got a new keyboard. It doesn't work that well. Let's just say that. Anyways, we find that he's been in office for 175 days. So how appropriate that this man makes national news. His full name, William Byron Lee, equals 175 in ordinal. In the news, 175 days into his term. Now, if you're familiar with this language of letters and numbers, dates on the calendar, and how all of these alignments exist in every single one of our major mainstream news stories, you also understand how I and other honest Gematria researchers have been looking at the date August 11th this year and how significant it is. Well, once again, we get another story with numerology tied to the number 811. This time, Ku Klux Klan, summing to 811 in Jewish Gematria. 811 is a prime number. See how it's the 141st prime number? This stands out because Nathan Bedford Forrest died 141 years ago. Now, if you measure from the date of this news story to the date August 11th this year, remember this is Tisha B'Av on the Jewish calendar, the second day of it, notice how it's exactly 30 days away. Ku Klux Klan in reduction equals 30. Bill Lee, the governor, equals 30 in reduction. KKK in Jewish Gematria equals 30. Now, the other number we always say is stamped into stories about racism is 42. The nasty N-word sums to 42. Slavery with the S exception equals, 42 in reverse, actually. There you see it. Slavery, 42. Bigotry, 42 in reduction. Brothers, 42. Remember number 42, Jackie Robinson, the first black player to play in the major leagues. The name Jackie equals 42. This goes on, right? Well, Bill Lee in Gematria equals 42. He's the governor of Tennessee. And isn't it interesting that Tennessee was admitted to the Union on the date June 1st, as verified by our trusty Masonic information source. And wouldn't you believe that June 1st is 42 days before July 13th, the date of this news story? How freaking appropriate. So that's really all you really need to see as far as this news story, to see that it's contrived propaganda to further divide the public. And the news publishes all their news stories like this, by the numbers. Think about how just yesterday we had this news story from the state of Vermont telling us that 34 cannabis plants were found growing in flower beds at the Vermont Capitol. Really? 34 cannabis plants? Well, we know what cannabis is. Cannabis is marijuana. Marijuana equals 34. The word flower equals 34. These plants were growing in flower beds? Well, when you look up the state of Vermont, remember these plants were found at the state's capital. Look what date Vermont was admitted to the Union. March 4th. The date written 3/4. And if you measure from the date of that news story to Vermont's next anniversary, it was exactly 34 weeks. 34 plants found. Do you understand how this code works, guys? I would certainly hope you do. By the way, when this news story made CNN headlines, as I captured in my blog post, it was July 12th, the 193rd day of the year. The word growing equals 1093, like 193 with the zero removed. And notice how they refer to this plant as cannabis, marijuana, and hemp. They call it all three. Well, in the alphabetic order, cannabis, hemp, marijuana equals 193. What about yesterday's news story about the Federal Trade Commission settling with Facebook on July 12th? In Jewish Gematria, Federal Trade Commission equals 712, a lot like the date July 12th, 7/12. Well, internationally, that date is written 12/7 or 127. In that same method, Facebook equals 127. See how Facebook equals 58 in ordinal? July 11th or July 12th, the date of this story, had 58 numerology. See how Facebook also equals 31 and 158? Not only did the date have 31 numerology, but it was 158 days after Facebook's anniversary. $5 billion settlement in Gematria, 158. All right, I'm getting a little exhausted here. I got a busy night ahead of me, guys. I just wanted to share with you this ridiculous numerology about more manufactured racism. This wealthy elite class of people wants nothing more than for the public to turn a blind eye to their transgressions and instead focus on each other as the source for their misery, their hatred, their inequality and unfairness, while turning a blind eye to the wealthy lifestyle of those who live off of our labor. Thanks for jumping in, guys. That's going to do it for this video. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe this content, as this channel has faced censorship. In fact, I'm on my second channel because YouTube doesn't think that its watchers, its viewers, are deserving of this language of numerology. It's on you to help share and spread this information and help dispel the bullshit being propelled into the culture by the mainstream media on a daily basis. All right, everyone. Keep seeking and speaking that truth. Live through instinct. Allow yourself to be guided by the light. Peace, love, and God bless. See ya.